Welcome back. You're now starting with Unit 2 of the course Dealing with Sensitive Topics. This unit will be 30 minutes long and we hope that you will enjoy it. After completing Unit 1, where we looked at pre-contact activities, preparation for the meeting, and who will be present at the meeting, we are now moving on to Unit 2, where we will be looking at deciding on the points of discussion and managing the report back space. It is important for you to explore the reasons why you are wanting this meeting with the parents. It's important for you to work out what it is that you want to achieve with this meeting. If you have a clear goal and you know how you want the meeting to run, and finally, what it is that you want the parents to walk away with, it will be helpful because that will assist you in managing the process of this meeting in such a way that you are going to be confident in what you want to do along the way, but also confident in exactly what you want these people to get from this meeting. After you inform the parents about the meeting, they can be making a whole lot of assumptions and even ask the child if they know what the meeting is all about. So it's important to acknowledge that they might be upset by the time they come into your office. So parents might feel very concerned for being called in by the teacher. It's possible that they might not have been very well behaved at school and had stressful teacher meetings when they were at school. They might feel frustrated because they had to rush from work, or maybe they were stuck in traffic. Acknowledging their feelings is a helpful way to start the initial interaction. The first few minutes while we meet the parents and get them into the venue is very important for creating the atmosphere for what the rest of the meeting will be like. And it's important for us to make the parents feel comfortable. As part of your planning, you would have decided whether you wanted the child in on the meeting or not. So if you didn't intend to have the child present at the meeting, but the child shows up with the parents, it's important to first assist the child to get to the venue where he or she should be by either taking the child yourself or asking a colleague to take the child, and then return to the parents for the meeting. Starting the parent-teacher meeting. Please note that the physical setup and arrangements will be addressed under the next topic. Starting off, it's important to introduce all parties present at the meeting. Have a parent-teacher meeting agenda for everybody present. If you've decided to have a colleague present at the meeting, as you would have communicated to the parents prior to the meeting, explain why you felt the need for the person to be present. Give time allocations to each point. and make sure that parents agree to the time the meeting will conclude. And finally, ask the parents if they would like to add something to the agenda. I found the website indicated on the bottom of the page quite helpful in their amazing resources and templates. This example on the screen is one of their templates, and we say thank you to them for sharing with us. It is helpful to start the conversation with something positive about the child's behavior or achievement. What to share or not to share. It's important to stay and stick to relevant facts. Even if you are a little bit nervous, it's better to stick to the agenda. When you come across confident, the parents will also have confidence in your ability to look after their child's best interest. Use measurable data, test results, and assessments to assist the parents in their understanding of the process. Use information gathered over a period of time with regards to your observations. This period of time should just not be months. If we fail to have meetings with parents when we have issues to discuss with them, and we end up only having important meetings with them in October or November of that year, we are really not looking after the child. And lastly, on this topic, is to not share more than one major sensitive issue with the parents during a single meeting. Include the parents and listen to their point of view. The parents know their child and have important information of what the child is like at home while doing homework or studying for the test. Use this information and include the parents in the planning and the problem-solving process. The parents will be more likely to cooperate and assist if they feel included and important to the process. It is often the case that the parents struggled with similar challenges when they were at school. Thanks to the genetic legacy, I have found it very valuable to tap into the parents' resources or skills they developed over the years to deal with similar challenges that they had as a child and that their child is now struggling with. During the meeting, it's important for us to focus on the child's behavior and not the child's character. So if we focus on the behavior, then we will not call the child a naughty child, but we will talk about the child's unacceptable behavior. Stick to the agenda according to the time frame allocated during the meeting. Make sure that you include a constructive plan of action in order for the parents to be hopeful that the matter can be addressed. If you intend to refer the child, have the contact details of the referrals available. Include time for questions. And lastly, end the meeting on a positive note and give the parents a sense of hope with a clear plan of action. Managing the space for the meeting or the venue. Book the venue in advance And if the meeting will take place in your classroom, please make sure that your classroom is available for that time. Make sure that the seating arrangements is adequate for the size of the group. Make sure that you know how to pronounce all the names and surnames of the people attending the meeting. It is also helpful to ensure that the meeting is not interrupted by indicating the session in progress on your door. Please ask all the people that's attending to switch off their cell phones or put it on silent when the meeting starts, and arrange with a colleague to be on standby in case you need something urgently. And most importantly, breathe. If you are calm, your parents will be calm. Other aspects to keep in mind. First of all, it's the noise level. When you have children running up and down on the corridor outside your classroom, it might be difficult for the parents to hear what's going on in the meeting. Make sure that everybody's got a pen or a piece of paper that they want to write on. A little bit of water to calm the nerves, and some tissues when the emotions are running high. And it's important to ensure the confidentiality of the conversation. Ethics in the meeting room. It's important to make notes about the different aspects discussed during the meeting. It is easier if you have a colleague that can assist in making the notes while you're busy facilitating the meeting. The other aspect that can be quite an ethical dilemma is recording of sessions. This must be discussed prior to the meeting. If the parents want to record the meeting, it's important to understand the intention of what they want to do with the recording. No recordings can be made for legal purposes, especially if the parents are going through a divorce. No recording can be used for litigation, and that must be made clear to the parents. If you want to record the session, you must then make the recording available to the parents if they would like it. But in either two of the cases, whether the parents want to record or you want to record, prior consent must be given by everybody present at the meeting. The do's. Give plenty of notice. Start and end on a positive note. Be organized. Listen actively and attentively. Have evidence. Involve the parents. Call for backup if you need it. Be sensitive to the parents' feelings. Focus on what can be done. Be truthful and honest and tactful. Have effective and focused communication. Involve the parents in the solutions and put yourself in the parents' shoes. Aspects that should rather be avoided during parent meetings. Don't stray from your planning. Don't get emotional. Don't run late. Don't have your meeting in a messy space. Don't talk down to the parents. Don't attack the child or the parent. Deal with the problem. Don't be shocked by anything said by the parents. Don't jump to conclusions. Don't argue. Don't lose sight of your plan of action. And don't let the parents or yourself leave the meeting in an upset or bewildered way or before the meeting was concluded. Conclude the meeting with a discussion around how the feedback to the child will happen. It can happen in either of the following ways. The child can join the final stages of the parent-teacher meeting, and feedback can be given to the child together. The adults can agree that the teacher will give the feedback to the child, or the adults can agree that the parents will give feedback to the child. And finally, a date for the follow-up meeting must also be discussed, and aspects that need to happen before the next meeting will conclude the session. So for us to also end this section on a positive note, caring teacher plus involved parents results in a child that feels like a winner. Steps to take after completing a successful meeting. Some more on record keeping. Read through the notes made during the meeting to ensure that it all makes sense and that all the aspects discussed during the meeting is recorded and noted. Make copies of the notes for the child's or the learner's file. Scan the documents and forward it to both the parents. Highlight possible dates for the plan of action points. And then ensure that the date for the follow-up meeting is indicated on the information sent through to the parents. Feedback to the child and feedback to other teachers. So firstly, if the child did not attend the meeting and it was decided that the teacher will give feedback, the teacher will discuss the different aspects related to the meeting with the child. If the parents were going to give the child feedback, the teacher should still discuss the matter with the child, that the meeting took place and that things were decided at the meeting that would be in the best interest of the child. But the teacher will then tell the child that the parents will give the child further feedback about the outcome of the meeting. Feedback to other teachers. It's important that teachers that would benefit from the outcome of the meeting be informed about the information discussed. The sharing of this information must be conducted in a respectful, professional manner in an organized meeting and not through gossip in the staff room. The slide to follow will give us some idea of what the parents might be struggling with and can assist us to preempt some of their challenges and put things in place to address it before it even happens. If you know the parents have smaller children, maybe arrange with a colleague to assist the parents with childcare during your meeting time. Make time slots available that might be convenient for working parents or parents with smaller children. If you give parents ideas of what to do in preparation for the meeting, something like have a conversation with your child and find out what he or she thinks would be important to mention at the meeting. Make a list of your questions you would like to ask during the meeting. Or observe your child for the following week during homework time and write down your concerns or positive feedback. Watch the following clip and see what you can put in place to arrange meetings that is most likely to have a positive outcome.
Sorry I'm late. I don't have any childcare today, so... Honey, stay outside while I talk to your teacher.
But Mom, I'm hungry.
Here, eat some of your lunch.
Aw, but...
Mrs. Walker, I wanted to talk to you about some trouble with Luke and some other children.
What? Oh, wait till his father hears about this.
No, it's not his fault.
Is it the other kids? Luke says there are mean kids.
Mom, I need to go to the bathroom.
Then go.
Actually, I think it might have something to do with our reading groups. He's having trouble.
Reading? What's this got to do with mean kids?
Mom, I'm cold.
Look, this doesn't seem like the right time.
I took a bus 45 minutes across town. It better be the right time.
Freeze. Parent-teacher conferences can be stressful, but they don't need to be. There are 3 key things you can do to make parent-teacher conferences easy and stress-free. First, be prepared before the conference. Next, during the conference, ask the right questions, and afterwards follow through on what the teacher suggests. Let's start the conference again using these 3 key ideas.
It's parent-teacher conference time.
Oh, dear. Wednesday's difficult. Maybe I can swap with Charlie's mother.
First step, make sure the time works for you. If it doesn't, try to swap your time with another parent or contact the teacher to reschedule. And try to find childcare. Your teacher expects to speak with you alone.
Honey, is there anything you'd like me to ask your teacher?
Well, the kids all make fun of me during reading group.
Really? Well, tell me about it.
Next, prepare for the conference. Sit down with your child, look at his work, and talk to him about his experiences at school. Finally, make a list of questions you have for the teacher.
Luke sometimes cries during reading class, and I'm not sure why.
What have you seen happen?
Well,
Listen to the teacher. Ask questions and share what you know.
Well, I think reading in front of groups makes Luke nervous.
but reading aloud is an important part of learning to read.
What would you suggest?
Maybe I can have him just read with a partner until he feels more comfortable.
And maybe he can read out loud to me and his dad at home more often.
Come up with solutions together. The conference seems to be over, but what you do afterwards is important too. After the conference, follow up at home. Talk to your child focusing on the positive, sharing your plan to help him do better. Follow up with the teacher a couple of weeks later. Ask how your child is doing at school and report on what's going on at home. And that's it. Parent-teacher conferences can be tough. They can interrupt your workday, and sometimes you hear things about your child you may not like. But they are also the perfect time to team up with your teacher to help your child succeed.
We've come to the end of Unit 2. A quick summary of what we've done. What you want to achieve during the meetings with your parents, parents' assumptions and personal feelings about meetings, creating a workable atmosphere for the meeting, starting the meeting, what to share and not to share, include the parents and listen to their point of view, conversational aspects, managing the meeting space, ethics, do's and don'ts, concluding the meeting, steps to take after concluding a successful meeting, and finally, feedback. You will now proceed to do the knowledge checker about the information that we covered during Unit 2, and if that is successfully achieved, I will see you soon to start with Unit 3.